How's it going, everybody? Welcome to OP Entertainment. I'm Omar Darwish.
And I'm Pratik Cherian.
And this is our review of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Kingdom of the
There's
Planet
so
of
many
the
of these
Apes.
Apes movies. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, directed by Wes Ball, starring a bunch of apes. I don't even know who did the voice acting in this. I didn't want to look it up beforehand. But I'm sure Jaimin Hansu was in there. There's a couple people, right?
Sure, I don't know.
I have no clue.
I did no research.
I did no
Zero research.
We know Wes Ball did this and he did the Maze Runner movies. That's what we know.
That's it.
We're going to go spoiler free. Pratik, I really enjoyed this for the most part. What'd you think?
Yeah, I think it's interesting because I really liked the last trilogy, and it definitely doesn't hit the highs of like the middle and third movies of that one.
I would even say the first one is really good. That's damn near a perfect trilogy for me.
It really is, and I don't know and so this was like satisfying, but I don't know if it reached that level, and so it's really hard for me to be like, yeah, I loved it because
I feel like here's what this movie did really well. It felt like it was definitely in the world of those movies, and I think it can definitely sit next to those movies. I wouldn't say it's like on par, but like the highs never got as high as the last three, but it definitely had the same flaws for me as the last three, which were pacing issues. A lot of times where they could be doing world building, it's just kind of holding on certain shots that I feel like just frames of characters' faces, which I get that the visual effects are great and you want to hold on to them.
The visual effects were incredible.
Yeah, but at this point, we know they're great. I guess I want.
Yeah, but I think it's one where like every time so many years passed since the last one, I'm just like, all right, we kind of caught up. Like, how much better could it actually be? And then the next one comes out, I'm like, oh yeah, that much better.
Like Avatar, right?
Not like that. Come on.
I think also what I liked about this is it's so far removed from the last movie that we all new characters and we're just like
in a way like
story.
And this speaks to your point where the world can fit alongside the world of the earlier movies, but in many ways because of the time jump, like they're kind of building their own, like they're creating their own world in many ways, and so.
Also, I don't know if you felt this way, but I felt like because this one has, I mean, it's not a spoiler to say the least amount of humans, right? I would say.
It's not, no.
Yeah, okay. It's almost so simple of a story and such simple dialogue because obviously these are apes communicating. They can't have like paragraphs of dialogue to say to each other. And at some points it feels like I'm almost checking my watch. Like, come on, these are conversations that are taking 10 minutes, whereas if it was human interactions or there was maybe a human there to speed it up, I don't know. And it's not necessarily like a huge fault of the movie because it's what the movie is, but I felt like it really didn't help the pacing issues of the movie. Yeah. And for a movie that really starts and like is just going and like
I think the thing for me, and that could definitely be a part of it. I think it's more that it took it feels like the plot of this movie was stopping and starting, and I think that's kind of like the first part of the movie, like I was like, all right, so this is kind of the plot, and then we get like to the middle part of the movie, and I'm just like, oh, actually, it wasn't that, it's this, and then we get to like the last third of the movie, and it's just like, oh, actually, this is the plot.
I guess it's more so that the plot doesn't require our main characters to do anything that complex or intricate. Whereas I mean, if you see like a bunch of like ladybugs like move a piece of popcorn, it's interesting to watch that because that's what they're capable of, right? And I almost feel like because there's not enough human interaction in this movie, we're just watching monkeys be monkeys for
other than riding horses and talking.
Right. Other than those, I guess those aspects and the action aspects are a bit too few and far between for me. But those are really my only flaws.
The action was really, really good. I thought the way that they shoot it like brought an energy to the movie that, again, when you weren't in an action scene, kind of made it feel like, all right, like we're kind of plodding along. But I think part of that is because it was, and part of that is because the action sequences were so like,
they're so well done that you feel the beats where it's slowing down. But I feel like it would normally slow down to like really give you some story, and like granted, it's not like there's a lot of exposition, so like that's good. But I don't know, like
I think it's just that
I guess the previous three movies had deeper. Not deeper storytelling because there's allegory here.
I would say the last two.
Yeah,
that first Rise of the Planet of the Apes is kind of
just had a lot more going on with it. This is a much more simple story than either of the last two.
It's a journey movie, right? Like
for sure, yeah.
It's a journey movie, except even our characters don't know where they're going.
Right,
And I
right.
think that kind of like that it's hard to like grab it and be super invested with people that don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, and also like this world
Yeah.
is so unknown. We don't know exactly how long it's been. We don't know what is going on in this world per se. How many people are out there? What different factions of apes there are. So yeah, I don't know.
And again, these are all things that like our main character doesn't know either, so it makes sense
Right,
that we don't
yeah.
know them. But like you're saying, it makes it harder to like really grab in and be like deeply immersed when there's just so many questions out there.
However, this movie does like have like a through line of like trust and like trust between human and apes and apes and apes, and I feel like it really delivers, especially with the ending, like right up until the ending, as to like how you're the paranoia of both species, I guess, and like why they should feel that way, and like I don't know, it was a good mirror to society. Maybe it's not that deep, but I liked it.
It's not that deep, but I also think these movies are at like. Just historically, these movies are at their best when they're saying something about our modern society, and so those are the moments that stood out again.
They did stand out for sure. Yeah. I really liked how this movie was shot for the most part. There wasn't any CG that stood out to me that was bad.
Yeah.
The
I
score,
think there was one
okay.
like there was one effect of like a rock falling that I was just like, oh, that was but
I didn't even.
But it was so like minor that it was just like, oh, okay.
I felt like the score, maybe I'm the only one, kind of sounded like Twilight. Like it almost.
I am not familiar enough with the Twilight score, so that's all you, my guy.
Just a little piano. I don't know. It just didn't sound. It didn't fit. The score didn't really fit the movie. Like I feel like it could have had more grand score, and it didn't.
That could also be because like the last few movies we've seen have really good scores.
Yeah,
And this is just like
this has been a good year for movie scores for sure.
This one, no, I'm with you. It didn't bother me, but it didn't stand out either.
Yeah, I'm at a point now though when I'm reviewing a movie, I have to like mention like how good or bad the score was, because you're right, we've had such a good like movie year for scores. Even last year, I feel like we're just like. I think filmmakers in general are paying attention to the score. They realize that people care about the score more often now than they did.
Yeah.
But like I haven't seen any of Wes Ball's old. Did you see any of the Maze Runner movies?
No.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the Maze Runner movies. I think I might have caught like some of.
I think one was on TV one time when I went to someone's house.
But like if this is the level of movies that he's making, I'm ready for it. I want to see what he does next. I'd definitely be here for another one. It seems like they probably will do another one.
It feels like this is setting up a trilogy.
Yeah, which I'm totally here for it. I was really nervous that Matt Reeves wasn't coming back for this.
Yeah, same.
And I think it's in safe hands. I would say it's in really good hands. And if you're looking forward to this, I would feel safe in recommending this. You ready to score it, or anything else you want to touch on?
No, we're good. Go ahead.
Man, I want to say 9. I'm like this close to a 9, but I'm gonna give it an 8 just because it really is slow in some parts, and the story is very simple. Not necessarily super predictable, but simple. I really like the characters. I felt like I was really endeared to the characters that they give enough to that you would be endeared to. And I was just really happy to be back in this world, and they did a good job of making me feel like I was there again. So yeah, good 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
If we were doing halves, I'd do 8.5.
Oh my gosh. Echo everything you say. I think I'm gonna end up at a 7. I think some of that like stop and start of the plot really did bother me.
If it wasn't so visually like beautiful, I feel like it would bother me more.
That is true, especially like those opening sequences. I'm like, are we in a nature documentary?
Yeah.
Like, what just happened? And I thought that stuff again. It's very well shot. It is,
especially during the beginning. I really was like, man, I want them to make a video game out of it. Is there a Planet of the Apes video game? Because there needs to be. I was like, I just want to be these characters.
I don't know if there's one that I can recommend, but
oh, they should.
But yeah, no, it's a 7. The pacing hurt. The stop and start nature was a little off. Again, this felt like a movie where the next time I see these characters where you don't have to set up the world quite as much, I think where we can just kind of go, I'd be very excited for it. But yeah, it's a 7.
I hope with the next one we follow up with these characters and we don't just like start with new characters, even though that's kind of what we did with this. But yeah.
All right, you want to take us out?
Well, we'll see you guys next week. It seems like summer blockbuster is really heating up, so we'll see you guys.
See ya.